Greetings everyone, my name is Ottervale, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In this sometimes weekly live stream, I'll be covering a combination of both Veersman levels and some other levels I found online, primarily focusing on the former for the next 2-ish hours or so. And then afterwards, I'll showcase some of the art posted on the server. As for the tentative schedule this weekend, no more streams other than this one today, and tomorrow morning specifically, I'll be sampling Terry's other games, which is basically like a Flash Games extra, but yeah. So we're gonna stream Jenox, Sunflora, Jaden, Raccoon, Pixel Boy, Oscar, Iwumi, and Paul. It's been a while since I last showed up, Iwumi. Nice to see you here. And hello to you too. Or should I say, and moshi moshi to you too. Alright then, let's begin with this level. Cossack Snow Tundra by Jenox74, 76 plays and a score 27. Alright, let's hear Jaden. For those that don't know, would you like to remind them of when you're going on vacation? Or I'm not vacation, your road trip. This week in terms of streaming was basically the recovery. Alright, in terms of channel updates, this week was basically the recovery from all the extra Next Fest demo streams from last week. And editing a lot of them. In we go to the fortress. The other bright spot that's new is that I began my streaming coverage or playthrough of Ruffy in the Riverside. And so far it's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to try going to completion with that. It's not too difficult or complex. It's not too difficult or lengthy, so yeah, I'm going to try going for it. Just the intros, Jaden. I was also asking you to remind everyone, especially those who weren't there earlier, when you're going on the road trip. Just align that. Well, looks like it's time for bosses. Ring. I'm just damage boosting as it's quicker. Well, let's see here. That'd be about 2.5 weeks from now. Alright, good. Right. I'll post the edited version of that Let's Try either later next week or in a few days. We'll see. Okay, in terms of next week's streaming schedule, yes, I am going to continue Ruffy, and then I will resume Path of the Midnight Sun. It's been a hiatus for about a month or now. Let's actually resume the adventure for about 2 weeks or so. It's not that it's like a 30-hour JRPG, so it doesn't take too long to beat. Ooh, where are you currently at in the Kirby Marathon, and what is currently your favorite game of that you sampled playthrough? Bees. Dreamland Tree. Favorite Superstar. Yeah, of those games I'd pick that. Okay. Alright, on to the next set of bosses. I'll do it in reverse order now. Pharaoh. Oh, it's only Toadie. Easiest one so far, but only tricky part was that single hop, but just smash fire. He almost gave me a bear hug for a moment. Air Riders looks neat. Get ready, the fishes. I've been arguing that point for ever since the halfway through the playthrough, Jaden. Even the developers specifically saying that it's for our more experienced Metroidvania players. And if you watch the footage of it, it's also fairly obvious. That's why I don't do a recommendation for that game without a lot of important notices. Okay. What could you be weak to? Nope. Maybe? Haha, can't reach me. This is getting a bit ridiculous. Just use that instead. Bouncy. Oh my, 3-2 is out, coming out later this year. I'm gonna get back on the track and do 3. I'm gonna say this, not everyone can play everyone's every game. A lot of people have other commitments and work and family and friends. And of course, the whole treasure trove of other media like books, novels, TV series, movies, cartoons/animated series, Western, anime, ones that don't fall exactly in the other 2 categories, etc, etc. I don't know why I'm splitting up like that, but you get the drift. There's so much media to be perused through nowadays that even if you give a large number of suggestions, well, unless you're something like a popular influencer, they'll at most be only able to quote-unquote consume one or few of them. Don't feel disappointed that. Alright. As for that stage, it was fine. Fine, decent, but we'll see. You only missed one stage, J Butters, you're fine. Welcome. Alright, second up is Oranjic's Facility by Sunflower Azumarill. 12 plays and a score of 5. Oranges? Yes. Roll done. Yeah, I completely sympathize and empathize with your position, Naomi. I sometimes struggle. Okay, I quite often struggle also with stuff over 20 to 25 hours in terms of scheduling stuff. Because there's so many things I want to get to, especially in the video game front. It only takes more than around 20 to 30. It only takes around 25 to 30 hours. It better be recommended by someone or engaging enough to go through. Especially nowadays when I realize that, hey, I actually want to be covering stuff that's fun other than just exists. Fun and / or interesting. Threat. It doesn't necessarily have to be good, but it has to be engaging or interesting. That's why I've been covering fewer and fewer Mega Man ROM hacks and fan games. Outside of maybe outside of the 3 or 4 of them, okay, outside of maybe 5 or 6 of them, specifically in the fan game front, there isn't that much engaging or interesting stuff left over right now. ROM hacking front is a bit of a different situation, but those games, the ROM hacks that are left in question I'm interested in covering in are at the very least difficult. Like, eventually I will do a playthrough of Minus Infinity. I see. Please plug the holes. I guess those are the boxes of I guess those were the boxes of Oranjix. Wait, I did? Oh yeah, I did. So I'm at dawn. I mean, 9 Souls is on the list of games I do want to play, along with After Image. Too slow. Again, the birthday / guaranteed game requests are more like a thank you to viewers, so that's why I'm a bit more flexible with that. And there are still restrictions, like, it's not like those games are very long. See, I fell for the same trick. Oh, you mean 100 Line Academy? Is it 100 Line Academy or 100 Line Defense Academy? Yeah, I've heard it's actually very interesting. Okay, let's wait. Okay, that's why. It was a bit off screen and, oh, shoot. Well, guess I'm not getting that then. Well, I'll get another try then. 100 Line Last Defense Academy, yeah. I've heard quite a bit of interesting things. It's a bit unfortunate it released in the same week of the Oblivion Remaster and Clair Obscura Expedition 33. That kind of pushed some of the steam out of its sails. That kind of grabbed some of the wind out of its sails. But I know the latter heavily recommended the form the even latter, so we'll see. Different game genre, Jaden. Okay, that gives atomic fire. Get ready. Jump. I don't want any. I want to survive. Wait a second. Yeah, thought so. Oh my goodness, the command of rushed forwards like that. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, suddenly this got a lot scarier. Whew. I didn't pay enough attention, so I got surprised by the switching. I'm gonna say this, Fatal Fury was not really impacted as much by Oblivion Remaster, Expedition 33, and that, and 100 Line Defense. They're different genres. Maybe it was affected a bit by Oblivion, but most of its issues result in it being more of a less popular genre, and poor advertising. Kodaka's first Danganronpa game, post one. I remember that. What was the name of that? Try to figure out what it was. Oh yeah, Master Detective Archives, Raincode. Raincode is interesting, but I haven't heard that many as good things about it. Oh gosh, train ride of squishy blocks. Ah, yeah. Whew. Checkpoint. I'm now relieved. Also, the other thing I've noticed is that, unlike Raincode, 100 Line Academy distinguishes itself more from DR. It also helps that it includes some of the folks. It also helps that it has the main rider from Zero Escape, another very well regarded VN series. Raincoat felt like it was a bit too derivative of Danganronpa, and the gameplay was a bit too simplistic. With 100 Line, you get some different gameplay, and you have a different conceit of the crazy number of endings. Okay, maybe not that crazy, but you get the gist of that. Ah! Too slow. Oh yeah, and also characters are good. Deltarod. If you want Deltarod, you should see all the parodies of Asgore running over you-know-who. So anymore, I think this is more interesting than the previous stage, and it does force me to engage in the mechanics at a more fundamental level, as in, pay attention or die. Oh no! Some quick reactions required too. That enemy is pretty much nothing for a roll. Hi, Pac-Man. Okay, Roll gets her own boss arena. WWW. Right, I don't have the funny way. Lol. Next up is Ill. Plantman? Alright, more enjoyable than the previous stage. It's also more difficult because, maybe not more difficult, but with at least the central gimmicks of the block droppers, you have to engage with them, otherwise the punishment is usually dying by being crushed or falling into a pit. Okay, I get a different set of bosses depending on the character, so that's cool. I'll read my earlier statement. It's a bit unfortunate that 100 Line Defense, or Last Defense 100 Line Academy released in the same week as Oblivion Remaster and Expedition 33. Kinda took some of the wind out of its sails, but it's doing actually decently well now in terms of sales. Also helped by Expedition 33's dev team heavily promoting the former. So there's that. The Queen's chariot cannot be stopped. It's up to you, Jaden. You have the power. Yeah, I think it's okay to leave the Danganronpa cities, I think it's okay to leave the Danganronpa city series at rest right now. As spiritual successor, sure, but with that universe, I think we can close the book on that. Unless we want to AU that and turn Danganronpa more into like an anthology series. Or a series of anthology universes. Yeah, at that point, I wouldn't mind an AU. There's already enough Danganronpas out. There's already enough Danganronpas out there. Okay, that's good. So we have creator buy-in. Alright, number 3 up is Dr. Wise, Assorted Boss Gauntlet of Pain, Normal Mode, version 3, by Nuclear Stomp. 19 plays and a score of 4. But yeah, if you're into JRPGs, especially some of the little bit shorter ones, I highly recommend checking out Expedition 33. It's getting so many rave reviews from... It's getting so many rave reviews from people across the board. Not just people who love playing JRPGs, but also people who are inexperienced with it or hate JRPGs. It's just that well regarded now. Oh gosh. Welcome to the barrage. Let me out. Fumbled this a bit, but I'm alive. Oh. Oh, whoa. I think I see what you want me to do. Okay. Yeah. Just stand in one area and that... Damage boost, yes, but... What? Okay, I went to the side arena and then it... What? Reset? Clearly I can't one-cycle the Yellow Devil. Well, if I stay down here, it's fine. Okay, it's like a time-limit boss. It's alright. Oh, that's what it wants. That's how you reset it, sort of. Oh, it's a neat idea having a time limit for the boss. Quick Man and Bubbles working together. And Bubble Man takes double damage. Oops. Okay, each one of the bosses has a different idea, so I'll keep... Oh no. Ringman versus me on the rolling cog with wind and rain. And the rain doesn't shift directions, so... therein lies a problem. I'll get back to this later. I appreciate each of the boss arenas does something different. It's not just, you know, a very basic boss arena. There's always something different. Eight. Oh, roll again? I know Napalm Man's pattern enough. I can just bum rush it. Especially as roll. Oh boy. Okay. It's a little bit different. Let me in. Okay, now this is where it gets a bit troublesome. Okay, just proper spacing did the trick there. I wish we didn't have to go back all the way every time. Top man with his assistant. Basically, every time I exit out of the portal, I wish it didn't send me all the way back there, especially for the later ones. I prefer it would just send me to the end of that room. Like, if it's closer to the right side, be on the right room. Okay, this is different. I'll comment on Freedom Planet in a moment. Let me just finish the upper set of bosses. Okay, Bubble Man's immune. Okay, now it's easy. I was paying more attention to what was going on above that's why I was tanking so many hits down there. And now for the hard part. Not this one. Oh, wait. No. No easy mode for me. The problem is I can't easily just move out of the way. Sliding is risky. That's also risky. Okay, let's do a short pause. DRG2's ending is a good drop-off point for the series, I agree. Okay, plot. Yeah, I like how 2 keeps building upon the whole loss of innocence theme from the first game. The one you kept discussing after 1's LP was done. Also, I like how the new character dynamics plot points keep their teams alive. Yeah, the characters are no longer young teens. They're now older teens to young adults. Also, really good making a more morally nuanced plot. So you wish you left one story beat for 1 or 2 more games. Yeah, I've heard that this Freedom Planet 1's plot is much more black and white, although there are some interesting beats there. But the second one, it's more grayish. And there's one I keep quoting. Okay, spoiler-free review of Freedom Planet 2's plot. I think I can go in a bit more detail, but I'll take it. Okay. Bad start. I don't like this arena. And I would... Okay, if I was his base, this wouldn't be so much of an issue. Like, seriously, you can't easily dodge... It's quite difficult to dodge over him like that. I don't even have any E-tanks to make this more bearable. It is possible to jump over him, but you gotta lure him to the other side. Like so. Okay. I had to play extra cautiously, but it was done. Okay. Doing this backwards order. Ooh, wily plushies. Oh, because of those bouncy platforms, he'll never actually go back. He'll never reach the ceiling. Of course, that means he also got a set pattern. Like, he'll never deviate from it now. 15. Squishy. Yeah, the best way to win in that fight is to avoid getting hit regardless. It is doable, but you need to lead Ringman on early up. Like, this wouldn't be out of place in a ROM hack fight. Oh. No, too low. I can learn now. Oh, my toe. Okay. I need to learn the timings of that in more detail. Okay. I always imagine that it follows always a straight line, but no, it actually kind of leads on to me. That's why I preemptively jump, because I think, oh, it's gonna shoot down at my legs, not straight ahead. It's not in my mind that it should be like that. Too low. See, now it does it. It's for the first shot where it just fires straight ahead. Maybe. Alright, the first boss, which I made harder by accident, is done. Wily? You didn't tell me about the invisible ledge. Alright, phase 3, the easier one. No E-tanks, by the way. Okay, the fight I made unintentionally harder is done. Now, just 3 left. Whoa! Why is there a Mega Man, I guess, to force you in case you missed the first one? In case you missed the first character capsule? Okay, I'll read the second half of your review, Jaden, but let me finish this part. Never mind, we're doing it now. As for the rest of the presentation, games rather pretty, a lot of aesthetic choices that quite enjoyed and gasped at. It made games which a lot of people praise for the pixel art, such as 13 and bosses look like. I would disagree with half that, because I've seen screenshots and videos of each, but I firmly disagree with the blasphemous aside. At that point we're going to different personal preferences. Also, it also matters that they're going for very different vibes, art style choices, and different platforms too, or different eras they're cribbing from. Like a 6th generation era pixel sprite game, but with a larger budget. The OST, I'm not sure, we'll see. As I grow older, I don't know about the soundtrack front. It really depends. My answer to that is your mileage may vary and it depends. And keep in mind, soundtracks can have a mixture of tracks that can either sound video gamey, more quote-unquote majestic or orchestral, more melodic, etc, etc. I mean, the beats and boops and the other things, they're melodic. They're a certain form of melody. And of course, you can also have a mixture of the ones in the same tracks. Or if you want a better example of something that can be sound video gamey and at the same that can sound video gamey and slash or at the same time majestic, see Deltarune's soundtrack. It has plenty of beats and boops, but also lots of cool melodies. Oh no. Let's play hopscotch with this boss. Luckily it's only one phase. Just imagine having this as a 3-phase, the jump rope fight. Yeah, my suggestion is, if you defeat a boss from the right end of the room, teleport Mega Man to the right side of the room. Oil? I spent about 20 minutes in this place. Time to bust out of here. He's one of the people who's great at reusing leitmotifs. Goes to show that you don't really need to go too far with them. Okay? Just one. Kind of weird to have just a single Boo Beam trap as the boss. Yeah, of course. I think this is easier than the second phase. Checkpoint! Of course, it's Bubble Man yet again. Why wouldn't it be? He's been the punching bag throughout. If you want a funnier example of Toby Fox taking a relatively simple route to good effect, see the slowed down tracks in Undertale on the Genocide route, and some pitch shifting, and some pitch shifting. Oh? Right, I don't need to defeat all the bosses to beat the stage. Oh no, it's this one. I remember you. I got stuck on this boss fight originally for I think 10 minutes. I remember this from an earlier stage by Nuclear. It was one of the health stages. I kind of have the opposite opinion, Jaden. Well, I'm gonna have to put an asterisk there because I haven't actually heard the Freedom Planet 2 soundtrack. Noctis's and Summum's soundtracks sound nice to hear, but I don't recall them as much, if at all. Like, they definitely suit the stages they're in, and they add to the stage's ambience and what messages and teaming they're trying to express, and moods, of course. And sometimes put my mind off of the frustration and pain of the later worlds. But in terms of memorability, I don't know. That being said, a video game is more than the sum of its parts. what constitutes good music in a video game is different than what constitutes good music in isolation. Yeah, J Butters. I know I make jokes about that, about how they do relatively simple things and reuse the same motifs quite often, but they do it to such a good effect that I'm all for it. Hey, work smarter, not harder. It also helps build with the story teaming. That's not really that hard of a take, but see, the reason I'm gonna say that is it's not so much the individual game, it's more like what you're talking about, what do you prefer over growing up? Oh shoot, it's only 1 per cycle. 1.5 per cycle. Really? Okay, we're doing this again. How many were there? 16. Each took about a minute or two, barring 3 of them. One due to my incompetence, the other because it was difficult. Okay, I can get about 1 charge shot and 1 mini shot in. And as long as I don't take unnecessary damage, I'll out-damage him. Half jumping though on this, it's scary. Okay, just need to survive 1 more volley. Okay, unlike that version of the fight, Yellow Devil takes extra damage from the Buster. I think back then it was this 3 damage from the charge shot, so that's why I got stuck there for far longer. Okay, this was basically a boss rush level, and you can pick and choose from the bosses and fight them in whatever order you choose. No E-tanks though, just pure skill at no special weapons, no E-tanks, well, no choice of special weapons exactly. It's all skill. You enter the boss room with full health and weapon energy, and that's all you get. And I do appreciate that all the boss fights are different and they use the arena in different ways. It's not just a simple plonk the boss in a square basic arena and then you fight them. No, it actually differentiates things. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the questionable, like Ringman. But thank you for including this. It certainly has. This is one of the stages that actually has some bite to it, and as such more memorable. Oh, welcome to the stream, Popcorn. Glad you can make it. I could do a normal ending, but I'm too dialed in for that. But yeah, the soundtracks. This is where it gets more subjective things about what people prefer. I would always argue that even the NES and SNES soundtracks, I argue, are melodic, but in the beats and boops, quote-unquote, retro way. Like, that's actually a question. What would you define as a melodic soundtrack? I'm not gonna roast you. I'm just pushing to explain so we can better understand each other's interests. Like, this circles back to the point for me. My answer is, it depends. I know, that's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's too difficult to distill it like that. Alright, forward up is Cloudy Sparks by Alex Winter, 157 plays and a score of 79. I noticed Neo Cutman covered the stage and it has a pretty good score and rating, so I decided, hey, I want to do it too. Then I'll loop around the Toxin stage. But yeah, as a reminder to those coming in later, next week I will go back to somewhat more regular scheduling, as in I will continue my playthrough of Rafi, and Path of the Midnight Sun will resume next Sunday. I won't be able to fully complete Terry's other games because there is one game which I need a co-op partner for, which I will cover on its own date. Thank you for the warning signs. Oh, don't worry, we'll have actually more than that. Like, Path of Midnight Sun next Sunday, and then the Sunday after that. And then, once you go on vacation, I'll sub in something else. The joys of having to bounce games that are on hiatus, games that are guaranteed game requests / birthday requests, and of course new releases. If I streamed every other day, this wouldn't be so much of an issue. My sympathies go to those who stream every day on YouTube or Twitch, or those who stream for far longer than I do. Like, I get tired if I stream more than 2 or 3 hours for the most part. I'm thinking of all those people who stream for 5 to 6 hours during their sessions. Oof. Or people who are actually good at video games. Hey, we can probably vote to see if we wanted to sub in J Butter or Sylveon's with game request. I would say there would be something up there, but interesting how they actually... Notice how they... Okay. Notice on the elect beams, in the background there's a skull warning symbol to show the range. Most stages wouldn't do something like that. It's not exactly necessary, but it's a neat touch. Come on. Good. Most stages don't need to do it, but it's neat when designers do something like that. So far, the stage is solidly constructed. Main usually is the conveyor belts and elect beam blocks. Nothing too special otherwise, it's just competently constructed. Which is to say, we have a dearth of these levels in the most popular queue and on these streams nowadays, so well appreciated. Oh, Marino. Oh. Man, I don't know how he does it. Not just Mega Man Maker every day, but all those other games. Like, I saw their playthrough. I see they're going to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the Oblivion Remaster. All in the same week, sometimes. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's how it feels like. They're really on the streamer grind and more successful than I am, of course. Which is to be expected. They actually stream at consistent times and long enough for people to join in. I guess one of my New Year's resolutions is to actually cut down the number of Let's Plays that are currently on hiatus. Vote on the, hey, I actually beat the game but I haven't edited it down yet. Or stuff that I've sampled through on stream but haven't actually beat, and I've promised that I would go back and beat it. But enough of my ranting about channel stuff. That's cool to hear, Toxin. It's a little bit embarrassing and shows that I've been kind of falling out and not paying as much attention to the Maker shenanigans or Maker events in the community. But could you quickly explain again to everyone what the Mega Marino League is? Oh, I've actually played at 1 or 2 levels from the league. They're pretty fun. Or should I say, they're pretty stimulating. This is a level I'd recommend to intermediate skilled Mega Man players who are still trying to get used to the game's mechanics and haven't really experienced all the gimmicks and what else. Those warnings in the background really help for that, for gauging how far the elect beams will emit from. Sometimes I wish I was as ambitious as they are. And the weapons we get are fairly balanced for overcoming some of the level's challenges. For example, they give us the laser trine in order to break through the shields. Mega Marinos League is a 10-week event. It's 40 racers playing 10 high-quality levels every week, mostly. Each week has its own team, this most recent one being Stone Man. I would have participated, but Steam Next Fest, Burnout, other things. Maybe if it was a few years ago I may have participated, but yeah. It's been unfortunate. Gotcha! G freaking G! This stage doesn't really do anything special, but it is very competently made, which I guess is a special thing. Like, why is the Sword of Boss Gauntlet a pain in terms of difficulty? I prefer Orangic's Facility by Sunflower. I think I'd like its gimmick combination more. But that was a little bit messy in a few spots. This one is well-rounded overall. Not too difficult, but it does a good job of gently introducing its mechanics, and the warning signs with the elect block distances, well appreciated. Something I recommend to not newcomers, but upper newcomers to intermediate players who are still getting their feet wet into Maker. Okay, and maybe not newcomer, journeyman. Something that's between newcomer and intermediate players. Hang on a moment, let me get the soundtrack. Ooh. Okay. Looks like we actually got 4 replacements. Okay. Alright, replaced. I will do that when I have more time, Toxin. And energy. After week 6, the levels get difficult, as that's when players start getting eliminated. Ooh. Ah yes, Freedom Planet 1's design quirks, where the stages will throw an obstacle last second and never use it again. Sometimes you won't even run across half of them because they'll be part of an alt route. Although, 1 does have a lot more obstacles than level mechanics that affect movement. 2 apparently fixes that. Alright, I've replaced the music, so I'll be silent for the first minute or two. Fifth up is Mega Marino League Season 1 Stone Man at Dawn by Toxin G. 33 plays, score 16. Darn, that was almost perfect one. Okay. Remember what I said about Alex Winter's level? I think this is even better constructed than that, as it has a similar level of polish, a little bit more edge to it at the same time because it was increased simultaneously. Okay, it's not actually harder than the previous stage, as if you take your time, it's actually easier. But if you want to speedrun this, and this stage gives you plenty of avenues for it, it becomes harder. It's definitely built with speedrunning in mind, while also taking consideration as not every player is as skilled, but functions also as a standalone stage. In addition to that, the level design is pretty fun. The backgrounds and aesthetics are also cool, and the boss fight has a funny insta-kill move, if you know what to do, and time it right and position yourself correctly. It is basically a Stone Man stage, but more concise, and as such better. Alright then, for the rest of the stream, I am going to switch the tracks back. Actually, I'm gonna keep the stage start and just keep it and remove victory back to normal. We'll be looking forward to doing it then. You can get 2 Wily capsules at the same time, but you have to use text editing and glitch the game a bit. Well, Freedom Planet 2 is on sale, so yeah. If I'm gonna cover it, it's probably gonna be next year, but funnier things have happened. Oh, good job, Tedley. I'll need to respond to you. Oh yeah, for your level pack, probably in a month. Let me check the level queue. Yes, I know there's a level by Oscar, but okay. Looks like we're gonna do a level by Oscar, but hang on a moment. I'll be right back. And I have returned. 6th up is Donkey Kong Hydraulic Press by Oscar. 52 plays and a score of 11. We're gonna go from peak to whatever this, however deep this throw is. Any thoughts on the Anton Black soundtrack? It's blasting. I see. Okay, that's a neat idea for hit the targets. I have to stay in the safe areas to prevent being crushed. Ooh, close shave. Some health would be nice. Alright, I didn't miss any. Alright. Oh, thank goodness. I thought that's all I was gonna get, and it was basically gonna be a one tap still. Checkpoint, so full refill. Okay, these are some tighter alcoves. Safe spots. It's a neat idea for a stage, but let's see how far you take it. It's a wider alcove. This forces me to wait because I can't progress otherwise. En route. Welcome back to the DK section, and then we switch between the Crusher and DK. Now if the stage ends after the next section, I'd be perfectly happy. It's done its job. Forced waitings in my Mega Mans? It's more likely than you think. Man, this level really shifts my underscore object. Sure does, Captain. It sure does. Hey, you appeared out of nowhere, cheater. If this was truly underscore shifted object, can you imagine how far this level could take it? Oh no, it's now you. Well, on the plus side, there's less waiting involved. And it's easier to despawn enemies who are in the way. And the dodge roll I don't really mind that much because it's a bit of a slower paced level anyways. Hey DK! What game did they request, Jaden? Oh yeah, Freedom Planet 2. Yeah, I didn't actually expect for them to play Mago that quickly. Anyways, of course, it's gonna be Concrete Man. These are one of your top 5 best indie games of 2022 besides Neon Line and Sifu. In comparison with the stage itself, the boss fight is kind of lame, to be honest. You can stand right in the center of the screen and just keep pelting missiles at him. Keep going up and down. Only time you need to move left or right is to gain more weapon energy. At least with the stage itself, it forces you to explore different alcoves. You have to go left and right to hit the targets, what else? Why not involve something like that in the boss fight? Like, I will giving credit where credit's due. This stage didn't really overstay its welcome. 3 sections for the gimmicks you have. 3 sections for the gimmicks you picked. It's fine. I would have appreciated the final section was a bit tougher, or also included another mechanic involved. Maybe some switches you have to press, or any other gimmick, I suppose. But it works. But the boss fight itself, yeah. Too simplistic, doesn't really hold up to the rest of the stage. And the forced waiting in the second section, it doesn't make as mesh as well with the first and third ones. Queen's Chariot cannot be stopped. It's almost there to getting a thumbs up, but as long as you can fix the boss fight, yeah. You can also narrow it down to just 2 sections in the boss fight, and I'd be probably happier, but eh. It avoids many of the issues with most of the other stages that are arcade-based. Alright, hang on a sec. What does this say? Alright, this month's Steam Next Fest. There are 5 games that really stand out to me this time around. Those being Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Neon Inferno, Mina the Hollower, Michael Punk, and Aeromushina. Neon Abyss 2 as well, to a lesser extent. To repeat, the 5 games that really stood out to me this time around, the 5 demos of the games, were Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Neon Inferno, Mina the Hollower, Aeromushina, and Michael Punk. The biggest surprise to me was Michael Punk. As compared to all the other demos, that one was kind of a throw-in, because I wanted something that Jordan could join in. Little did we know how much we enjoyed, and we ended up making the session 40 minutes longer than it was going to be initially. That was a blast. The rest of the game, none of the games I sampled this next fest I'd say are bad. At worst, they're meh or have some. At worst, they're either meh, they have a issue that diminishes my enjoyment of the game, and such, or they're not actually part of a genre I'm interested in that much. They may be competently put together, but for one reason or another, it doesn't interest me. Longest Next Fest demo would probably be Jump Ship or Kumi Tante. And the former is gonna be fun to edit. Especially with how we accidentally bugged out the second mission because someone got DC'd. Oof. For the most forgettable one, I'm not gonna say, but it's pretty obvious which one that would be. Alright then, I don't want to cover another Mega Marino level because they're good enough. No Way Home is actually an updated re-release of an earlier game, if you read the description. Sorry, you'll have to rewind the footage for that. I didn't say which one because I don't want to single out that game. But in terms of, if you're referring to in terms of games that require a lot of re-editing or the longest demos, that goes under Kumai Tentai or Jump Ship, especially the latter because of some funkiness, and we broke the second mission by accident because of a disconnect. Alright, 7-bit. Alright, just for the sake of this, because I don't really have more levels to cover other than from Oscar, and yeah. No thanks. Before that, let me check to see if there's anything new. No, there isn't. Alrighty then. 7th up is Blizzard. Okay, 7th up is Blizzard on the Glass Tower by Popcorn Master 42. 38 plays and a score of 17. If any of you have any levels to submit to me, please do it now because after this level, I'm going to finish off the stream. I'd preferably someone who isn't someone who already submitted their levels. But I'll be happy to do one more level by Oscar. I'll be happy to do one more level by Jedok to end off. Thank you, Oscar, but I'm not going to cover any more levels by you today, please. Let's end on a strong note. So I'll finish out by doing a Janox level. Alright, anything else you want to discuss in regards to Steam Next Fest demos? Jaden, Sylveon, J-Butters. This does sure look familiar. Alright, shoot. New theories are coming out like a dime a dozen a second. Huh? Why did you delete your chat, Oscar? It was a 25-minute demo, Jaden. That isn't very short. That is decent enough. And keep in mind I skipped about 40% of the map too. Remember, for me, at least from my perspective, if a demo is at least 20 to 25 minutes long, it's fine. How long did you actually want the demo to be? You keep saying it was that short or various things. I'm just scratching my head thinking that, what does even short mean to you? Drat, I missed it. What if Chicken Little was the next Shadow Crystal holder? Does Chicken Little exist in Deltarune? In that case, I wouldn't say the demo is that short. That's not the correct phrasing. I'd say the demo was underdeveloped. I know this may be pedantic, but I feel like there's an important distinction between saying something's too short versus something's underdeveloped. Or didn't explore its mechanics enough. Like, the latter may imply the former, but the former may not imply the latter. I know, it's a bit pedantic. I just played through so many demos that I always want to be clear when saying that something is too short versus something's underdeveloped. Latter applies former, former doesn't necessarily apply latter. And keep in mind, I guess it could include some of the tougher challenges in order to develop the tree-based movesets more, but they don't want to reveal too much of the game. And already there were a few optional challenges which are kind of brutal. Yeah, here's the thing. Lucis is on the realm of being a somewhat hardcore to hardcore, or otherwise, not Kaizo to Kaizo Metroidvania platformer. If you end up putting some brutal bonus challenges, most players are not going to be able to best it. Only a minor few, likely the ones who already came from the original Iterna as well as Summon. So in terms of actually building a demo, you have to do a balanced cost you have to balance the cost for producing those versus how many people are actually going to play through it. It's one thing to put in a full game, but for a demo, bit of a tougher sell. Okay, this was just an S stage. Nothing really special, nothing really wrong about it. Sorry. Let me do a quick look-sees on this. Okay, let's do this at Oscar's level and then we'll finish off. Sorry. Let's do this level by JBZ and then we'll do Genox level and close off for the week for Mega Man Maker. It's not even just the big guns, it's more in the case of, hey, most demo players wouldn't be able to actually completed, so why waste time? It's not like there's no award attached to it. Jot? It was more me trying to get some. It was me trying to help get Jordan into a game, so I guess that. Again, Star Revolver is neat, but it's not in the category of games that I would wishlist. I appreciate what they're doing, and I appreciate the thematic cohesion, but I don't know, it didn't really hit my interest. It's one of those things where different interests, different strokes for different blokes. Anyways, 8 up is Fire Gauntlet by JBZ, 8th place, score 3. This may be one of Sylveon's accounts, I don't know. I find it funny when you activate the Bright Stopper, or rather Flash Stopper, it makes it so that the pillars can be destroyed or damaged from any side. Or at any elevation. Like, why does it get rid of their guard? Gotcha. I mean, a lot of people love that. Apparently, a lot of people love that demo, so they're doing something right. I'm actually surprised that Vindictus's demo was the most played one. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people, including myself, enjoyed playing the original MMO. I didn't think that many people really liked to see what the revision had to offer, the single-player version. Well, single-player with co-op, but I guess the success of Kazan is working. Now if we could have a co-op version of Mabinogi, I'd really like that. Of course, that game is far more social, so that may be an issue. Halfway done. I'm spitballing. Oh, I appreciate I covered it, and I think I'll put a demo playthrough of it, but I know from looking back at it that we kind of missed a major mechanic, and that's why I kept perishing twice. Still appreciate the time. If anything, the most memorable game of that night was Michael Punk, but I know you slept through it, Jaden. But that will be edited down to a certain degree. It's Michael Bunk's one of those games where you can edit down the playthrough, sure, but in order to properly enjoy it, the full spectacle, we need to see the unedited version. Hello, easy button. Let's stop using easy button. Ants? There was a game with ants? Do you mean Michael Punk? Trying to figure out which game you're referring to. I mean, this makes the tank a cinch. Yeah, I remember watching that movie. Myco-punk, not micropunk. Myco-punk. In that game, you play as a team of up to 4 robots exterminating a lot of mutant mushrooms and a planet. Yeah, you were probably tuning it. You were probably going into the realm of dreams at a time. We don't actually play as ants at all there. We play as a team of up to 4 robots trying to deal with a infestation of mushrooms on a planet, working for a roach company. And if you're wondering what the joke is about that title, have you heard of... You know about the genre titles of cyberpunk, steampunk, atom punk, solar punk? Similar vein. And that's fair enough. Ah, the slow escape. Honestly, this looks like the best part of the stage to me, but eh. I can understand your feeling, Jaden. Although for me, it's not so much FPS games that give me the equivalent of motion sickness. It's actually 3D platformers. Like if the camera is right behind it, like if I'm looking through the character's eyes or close to the eyes, it's not that bad. But if the camera's trailing behind the character and it's relatively faster paced, or requires a lot more involved camera movements, or more rapid camera movements, then it starts to get to me. Mycopunk is first person, so it doesn't affect me as much. Okay, this is my charge shot. "3D Sonic, no, because the camera's pulled back far enough." Okay, 3D Sonic, no, because the camera's pulled back far enough. I'm more referring to games like Demon Turf and, well, basically more like Demon Turf and another game. Okay, and to a lesser extent, K.O. the Kangaroo. Or K.O. the Kangaroo. If the camera's pulled back far enough, I don't mind. Yeah, Demon Tie is also kind of applied to that. See, with 3D Sonic, I know you go at fast pace, but the camera doesn't usually change direction that frequently. Or if it does, the rotations are more gradual. I didn't say No. It's one of those things because of an experience gap. Like, it used to be far worse when I first played 3D games on the channel, but as I've played more and more of these titles, I've gotten better at that. And it's not seasickness. Seasickness is a different feeling. Let's specify, say, motion sickness. Yes, I'm being pedantic again, but I have acquaintances who have seasickness, Not the same thing as motion sickness. Well, there are similarities, but okay, let me clarify. Seasickness is a specific type of motion sickness, but motion sickness is the more general term. I'm not going to say seasickness because that implies that the camera bobs up and down in a certain fashion. That's not the issue. Again, that doesn't really apply so much. That doesn't really apply to FPS games because the camera is is basically the character's eyes or chest or neck or close to that. It's just that if it's a 3D game which requires more, if it's close enough to the character and requires more rapid camera rotations, if the camera's pulled back far enough, not so much an issue, or if the camera movements are gentle enough. The funny thing is, if the camera snaps, that doesn't necessarily cause issues. So Spark 2 and Spark 3 won't really cause issues because they're like 3D Sonic, but something more like Demon Tides, maybe. We'll see, but it's more of an experience thing. With Turok and OG GoldenEye, the issue for me more has to do with the frame rate. The inconsistent frame rate. Perfect Dark especially had an issue with that. I'm not gonna 100% it. What are you talking about, Sylv? We have many different generations worth of fan games. Sonic is up there with Mario in terms of a fandom producing fan games. Like, if I were to say that in terms of fan games, ROM hacks, and fan-inspired commercial titles and freeware games, the Sonic fandom blows the Mega Man fandom out of the water several times over. Even the Mario fandom in a few ways. Like, Mario and Sonic are on the A or S tier in terms of fan games and ROM hacks coming out. Or I should just roll it all together. Fan projects and Sonic-inspired projects. I was resulting in Sylv. It's like a funny statement. Like, it's quite something to behold. Like, I know earlier in the stream I was talking about how there's only really 5 or 6 Mega Man fan games left I really wish to cover on the channel, which are good and / or interesting. Okay, 7 or 8 if we also 7 or 8. Okay, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 if we include stuff other than classic, and we only talking about release titles. 10 if you want to push it. But if I was doing Sonic or Mario, oh my goodness, with the number of interesting titles released on a yearly basis, we'd be set for life. Or until the planet explodes, but it also makes it easier to find them. Sometimes I have issues locating the more obscure Mega Man fan games. I don't really have as much of an issue with Sonic. Mario is complicated. And hey, Magmo came out of Mario. Anyways, one last stage. So the 9th and final level of the stream is The Tree Mage Masters by Jedok. 119 plays, score 55. No, I'm gonna... If I get Demon Tides, I will play it. But, Fire Ice Lightning. Is this Kirby? Help. Ow. I'm taking out lightning. Way to go, me, for missing most of my shots. Okay, you're weak to bubbles then. Let me go. And last but not least, you. I mean, for Freeze Man, you have to use a special weapon. Alright, now 3 different ones. What is your weakness? Okay, it's that too. Well, at least I can knock him out of this. It's only that weapon, unfortunately. Oh hey, Stone Man, you're weak to fire. Goodbye. I mean, the closest thing to that, Jaden, is the annual Sonic hacking contest and Rage. Magmal originated from Magalex and Make a Good Level X, or Make a Good Level X and Make a Good Level for Mario. With Sonic, there isn't so much a hack. With Sonic, it's not so much. A direct comparison doesn't really exist, but we do have the hacking contest and Rage. For what it's worth, this is fun. And before I give off my final thoughts overall, I'll say this. When I picked all the demos to sample for this month, I deliberately picked stuff that looked interesting and or good. I was a bit more choosy this time around because I wanted to avoid the scenario in 2 or 3 different Next Fests where there was at least 1 or 2 demos which were not the best showings, I'll say it that way. We had about 2,700 demos to pick from this Next Fest, so I picked stuff that at the very least was okay or decent. That's why at the end of most of the demo showcases I said, good job developer, or decent work developer, or excellent job developer, I wish the best of luck to you. It was only in one situation where I said, I'm sorry developer. And also why for at least what feels like 75% of the demos, I said, I'm certainly wishlisting this title, because I picked titles that I would very likely wishlist too. And most of you and you viewers picked stuff that I would like too. That's why there was such a positive bias and it didn't really criticize things as much. If I did a more average sampling of the demo showcase in the Next Fest, you would hear a lot more of I'm sorry's or saying that this shouldn't be here. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're gonna ask. So it's just for more the people who are gonna ask, why were you so positive and why is so much of the same thing of me giving thumbs up? That's why. Everdeep Aurora is a cozy adventure platformer. It doesn't have combat, it's mainly... That game's main focus is exploration, finding out secrets, and conversing with NPCs and learning their life stories and learning the history of the world. If that sounds fun to you, sure, go right ahead. But don't expect combat. So overall, of the 9 levels I covered in today's stream, my favorite one would definitely be Mega Marino League Season 1 Stone Man at Dawn by Toxin G, with an honorable mention going to Dr. Y's Assorted Boss Gauntlet of Pain by Nuclear Stomp, more because of how well designed a level it is, and the latter because of the fun challenges, barring to the boss fights. Cloudy Sparks could almost be there, but it was kind of edged out by Stone Man. And thank you to everyone else who submitted their levels to me. It's really appreciated. Symphonia is not a cozy... I would not call Symphonia a cozy game, as the platforming could get quite brutal. Symphonia doesn't have combat, sure, but it had a heavy focus on platforming, and it could get a bit Diet Kaizo, especially if we're trying to speedrun it. Everdream Aura's platforming, when I say it's on the cozy side, a cozy game, its platforming can get advanced, but it's not really punishing. That's neat. Neat new avatar. You see, I wouldn't call Symphonia a cozy game. It's... The level of expertise and effort it expects out of the player is higher than that. It can feel cozy to you, but you're already much more skilled at platformers than most of the audience. Anyways, with that out of the way, it's time for the art showcase. Recongud, the dunk of us. But then again, that's also subjective. Kind of goofy seeing how small the gun Kong is using compared to him. Resosaurus, half Kremling, half dinosaur. BKC for the Kong's return. All I'll say is that Everdream Aura shouldn't be compared to Symphonia. They're two different subgenres. I get the joke, but I need to emphasize, Noctis is designed for hardcore precision platformers players, so of course it's going to give most players trouble. Yeah, that's a cool artist. Blasting soundtrack tomorrow. Okay. It's finally here. Anton Blast soundtrack out now. And long awaited. Arrived. Sonic Utopia by Blue Frenzy, Panic City. Sonic for scale. I like the green area more because it had a background, but it suffices. It's a little bit, reason why this doesn't stand as much as the previous one you sent last week, Ulrich, is there was more variation with the tiles and the background helped out a lot. With this one, the cityscape feels a little bit... I know it's just a small glimpse of that. The building tiles are a little bit too samey for me. But again, it's a work in progress, so I shouldn't be criticizing as much. It's a solid starting scaffolding. In any case, this marks the end of the art showcase, and subsequently the stream. Thank you to everyone who either submitted their levels, their art, or simply participated in chat. It's due to your continued support why I continue to produce new content for the channel. It's really appreciated. So, if you're enjoying this or any other videos on the channel, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help it out. Don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all tomorrow morning.